Amiibo!
Welcome to the Switch Clicks Podcast, episode 82, recorded on May 3rd, 2022. Today we'll be discussing the future of Nintendo's collectible figure line, Amiibo. My name is Dakota, and today I'm joined by Nathan.
Hello.
Just a one-on-one episode for today.
And I'm out of jail.
That's true, yeah. I bailed him out. So the Min Min Amiibo came out for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate line, and the popularity around it among Nintendo fans is only the select few who still collect Amiibo. And I am one of those select few.
Yep.
Over the about 7 years, I think, Amiibo has been released, I've been collecting it pretty much throughout. And now that Nintendo has kind of slowed down, we wanted to discuss what Nintendo could do with either the Amiibo branding or just Amiibo in general. For context, I got my first Amiibo, I believe, the year that Smash Brothers came out, almost like that first wave. 3 waves in, I think, because I knew that they had the Sonic Amiibo out, at least.
Oh, okay.
But I bought the Link Amiibo for Super Smash Brothers at the Nintendo World Store in New York.
Oh my gosh.
So
really?
it's a very cool kind of fact.
Yeah, you actually bought it's a nice little souvenir you got. Very special place.
Yeah, and even days later, I bought my second Amiibo, which was a Japanese Kirby from a really big video game place in New York. I don't remember what it was called, unfortunately, but it's really, I think it was just called Video Games New York, actually. But it was a Japanese Kirby.
So they just had like a bunch of imported stuff from all around the world.
Yeah.
Involving video games.
Yeah, they had like stuff that was straight from Japan and in really good quality because they usually keep it preserved very well.
Yeah, in the box.
And 148 Amiibo later.
What the world?
Which is about an average of $3,000. I'm here now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How?
Well, it's kind of a mix of buying them from conventions. And sense. I haven't traded any, but I do have I think I have 2 duplicates. I have 2 Bowser Jr.'s and 2 Ryu's. Don't ask why. And I'm about 13 away from completing the Super Smash Bros. Line.
Oh, and like, which ones are you missing so far?
It's kind of the random ones.
Yeah,
I am missing Dark Pit, Donkey Kong, Ike, Lucina, Marth, Sheik, Toon Link, Wario, Yoshi, and Zelda. And I player 2 of Bayonetta. So if anybody listening here wants to give me that or sell me it, I'll take it. As long as it's at a decent price.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, at least you know there are more expensive Amiibo out there.
It doesn't look like Nintendo will reprint most of the earlier ones unless there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Like Dark Pit, I don't see that ever being re-released.
Well,
I don't know why they would, unless they would put out an Icarus game.
Yeah, like if Sakurai ever decides to make another one, or the Zelda ones probably might come back, just because they keep reprinting them for the games. They keep adding this functionality to them.
Once Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, I'm hoping to get the Zelda and Sheik Amiibo.
You might not be able to see Lucina was one of them you didn't have. Yeah,
Lucina, Marth, and Ike.
Yeah, that Marth might, because he's kind of represented the main head of the series. But like Ike and Lucina, they're probably not going to make a comeback.
Luckily, as time goes on, it seems like, unfortunately, collectors are kind of leaving the small community of collectors. They're leaving. They're selling all their Amiibo because some collectors have been kind of just putting them in a tub or a box.
Yeah.
And they haven't been really doing much because Nintendo, for some reason, has kind of changed their point of view on it. It used to be, okay, we're going to release at least 1 or 2 per game. That was at least in the Wii U era, they did that. But now it's kind of it's kind of
very rare. Like, I would say, like, only the big major AAA releases, well, only some of them have like Amiibo support, whereas most of the games they just kind of look towards the Smash Amiibos at this point.
And lately it's been most games have some sort of Amiibo support, but they never get an exclusive figure with it. like recently, what was the Monster Hunter series have been getting like 3 or 4 per Monster Hunter
Yeah,
game. And to be
and
fair, like Monster Hunter is massive in Japan, and
yep.
so are buying figures. So if you can make those figures in house, then it's probably better.
Like even looking at Animal Crossing, like they didn't even release any new amiibo for New Horizons, did they? They just
Uh, they only did I think, an additional series with the cards and
yeah, like
the Sanrio, what's the Hello Kitty
Hello
pack.
Kitty, right? Yeah, because all I remember is seeing a bunch of reprints for New Horizons. They didn't really like go all out with actual amiibo figures. They just went with the cards again.
Yeah. I think it's mainly for the figures. It's because when they
Mhm.
invested a lot into the board game on Wii U,
Yeah.
they overprinted the figures so much.
Oh my
It was
god,
insane how many stores went on discount for those figures. Like I was finding the figures new in box for $2 at our local Walmart.
you're kidding? $2?
I'm not even joking. Yeah. And that's where I got like half of my figures because I was just
Oh,
waiting until they went on sale at certain stores.
yeah, I guess Nintendo's original strategy clearly failed with Amiibo. Toys to Life is not really a good thing anymore.
Yeah. I am enjoying the collectible aspect though. Like, oh,
Yes.
okay, so we have one of the cooler ones was the Detective Pikachu amiibo, and that
Oh,
was like
that was
instead of a 3-inch
huge.
figure, you got a 6-inch figure, and it was
Yeah, that was
massive
really
figure.
huge. And then you had the
And then
Golden
what?
Mario one.
Yeah, the Golden Mario was cool too, but that was like in the peak of the popularity of amiibo, where first the Silver Mario exclusive to Walmart, and then they made the Gold
Yeah.
Mario exclusive to Walmart, I believe too. And that's when everybody was waiting in line since 4 a.m. to go get it.
Hmm.
Luckily, I do have both of them. I bought Animal Crossing New Leaf and the Silver Mario in a box, really good quality too,
Wow.
at a convention, and I virtually got it for $10 if I paid for the game was like half price, and I got the amiibo for
Mhm.
$10. I
Wow.
was really young, so I think the guy gave me just
What a
just a
steal.
deep discount. Yeah. And then locally off Kijiji, I found a guy that was selling the Golden Mario amiibo for $20 out of the box, and $20 for that one back then. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. I basically stole from the dude.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were going on
that
for
was a
like
steal.
$80 online.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because people stayed up. They stayed at stores at starting at 4 a.m. to find this amiibo, and I just found it for that much.
Yeah, yeah, you find it on Kijiji for like a really low price, and it's not even a knockoff.
Another of my kind of favorite amiibo are the Guardian amiibo from the Breath of the Wild series.
Yeah,
I
I
got that
remember
one,
that
I
one.
believe, at a what was it called, a mini. It's not GameStop, but it's the other Canadian chain store that they also sell like retro games.
I keep forgetting. Like
Micro
micro game and
starts with an M.
microplay, right?
Microplay. Haha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe I found that one quite a bit, like a few months after the release of Breath of the Wild. But that one's also super cool. I didn't take it out of the box because it's just cool.
Yeah.
Another one that I really like was the Shovel Knight series. The fact that they got one
Right.
and they got the
Yeah.
original Shovel Knight, and then they decided to release the triple pack with the other knights, a part of the
Yeah.
DLC, and then they also released a Golden Shovel Knight, which admittedly it doesn't look like it sold that well. They sold out of all their stock, but I did see it on the shelf at different stores for a while, which
Okay.
is weird for a golden figure. But I love Shovel Knight. It's my favorite
Yeah.
indie game of all time, so that was totally worth it on my end.
Hint hint review. Hint hint.
Yeah.
Now, are there like any particular amiibo that you really want to get like soon or like in the near future?
For future games, it doesn't seem like Nintendo's gonna put too much effort into them. Like, I don't think Pokemon's ever gonna get it. Maybe we'll get it for a reprint for the Detective Pikachu games, a sequel,
Yeah.
which would be cool. Maybe a shiny version or something.
Yeah.
Slightly different paint color. But for Splatoon 3 coming out in September, they
Yeah.
haven't said a single thing about Amiibo other than it has support, and I'm going to assume it's going to have the same support as the other two games. But I really want some. I think now the color scheme is yellow and purple. I do want some yellow and purple characters.
Yes, please. Yes, we need those new color schemes.
And of course, with the new designs, it'll be cool.
Yeah, especially with the new designs, the hairstyles, the. And that reminds me, is there any like super rare amiibo that you want to buy that you haven't gotten yet?
Yeah, there's kind of a story behind that, I'm gonna be honest. So, when the Octo expansion came out for Splatoon
Yeah.
2, I decided to skip out on getting the Octolings amiibo.
Really?
I think at the time I was spending like a lot of money on games, so I decided just to skip that one, and I'll probably be able to get it at a later date.
Yeah.
Only based on the fact that a Splatoon amiibo stayed on shelves for quite a long time here in Canada. Like
Yeah.
I probably saw the original triple set. It stayed on shelves for probably a few months after release.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Nintendo didn't print a lot of the Octoling amiibos, and those are actually some of the most expensive ones online that are selling. They're selling for like
Oh my
$100 or so.
goodness. You're kidding.
Um, I'm not even joking.
Oh
And then
my
same thing with
gosh.
the Callie and Marie amiibo.
Okay, that's not surprising.
I don't think they sold. I think they sold all of it, and they barely made any of them, and those are worth like $250.
Oh my gosh. And
So
like
I would want those amiibo, but I don't think I can afford them. I don't think I would pay that much.
yeah, like what in the world? I mean, that was basically when Splatoon got like super popular. Really,
Yeah,
they really struck lucky with. I'm really not sure how they make that decision where they just kind of like where they had the overabundance of the older ones and then they suddenly decide to like decrease the amount later on. And
yeah,
that makes me think that for every new amiibo we're getting, they're gonna like make it even harder to get eventually. Like let's just say Breath of the Wild 2 gets some brand new amiibo, like, Link with his arm and his new tunic and broken master
that'd be
sword.
so cool.
Yeah, like I would expect that to be printed even way less than like the amount that we got for Breath of the Wild.
And I hope that maybe instead of like 3-inch figures, they kind of go in the direction of toys that are
Yeah.
amiibo. Kind of what they did with Skylanders in a way, and the Woolly World series,
Yeah.
where okay, maybe like those collectible figures from I think the Skyward Sword era, where they made figures a lot, and
Oh, right,
I
yeah.
think they came with the game. I'm not sure about that though.
Pokemon did that too, like
Yeah,
with
like
just
I'd
the
like to
regular
see those
figures.
figures that are the high quality figures, maybe from a Japanese manufacturer, because they're really good at making figures, and
Yeah,
maybe they just have a chip in them or something.
I
Make
would.
it collectible and game second.
You know the drill. Click that subscribe button. Don't forget to check out our other content on this channel, like our Play It by Tier reviews. Anyways, back to the video.
That's kind of my biggest fear with a lot of games. It's just if Nintendo doesn't Amiibo readily available, it's gonna be really tough to like access certain exclusive content, and that's sort of where I kind of want them to split it up. Actually, I kind of want them to
Yeah,
like.
just draw the line.
Yeah, just draw the line. Like, do what Animal Crossing did and just release cards instead of having to.
Hmm.
Yeah, like trading cards instead of having to buy a whole expensive figure to access certain content.
Yeah, they kind of jumped over the line with the Samus Returns game on 3DS, where you
Hmm.
had to buy the amiibo to get the hard mode.
Oh my god. Yeah, Splatoon did that too.
Luckily they didn't do that with Metroid Dread with their amiibo, but I think there was still some content locked behind the amiibo.
Which I hope it's not in any future games. Skyward Sword had the whole quality of life improvement thing with teleporting anywhere.
Yeah,
That angered a lot of people. It's not the worst thing if you consider an even rare amiibo out there, or a set of them. I'm talking about the Donkey Kong and Bowser Skylander amiibo. Those are probably one of the most craziest amiibos I've ever seen, just because they have this dual functionality between acting as an amiibo and a Skylander. Like they are so I don't want to say rare, but like they're so different from the other amiibo out there. And they only work on the Nintendo versions of Skylanders. And all of a sudden now we're not getting that type of same thing ever again. It leads me to believe that if regular amiibo are getting rarer and rarer, that would make me think that third-party amiibo is gonna like disappear sometime soon.
Yeah, I think recently they've been doing a really good job on the releases for the Super Smash Brothers line. I think generally Amiibo is less popular because I guess it's just more plastic because the trend kind of died.
Yeah, there's no point in using Amiibo in Smash anymore.
Yeah, but I have noticed especially for when Squirtle and Ivysaur came out with their Amiibo,
Yeah.
they stayed on shelves for quite a long time.
What
I'd
in the
say
world?
maybe about a month or two after release.
Yeah.
I could still find them. Usually for every release of the DLC characters, I have seen a decent amount. Except when Joker came out. I think that was like peak pandemic though, so maybe stores weren't actually open.
Yeah, I forgot Joker came in like really late.
What is good is the quality of figures is going up. Now the price has also gone up $7. They used to be $16.99. Now they're $21.99.
Yeah.
But I'll pay that once every 3-4 months, which is fine with me.
Yeah. How much would you want them to make a Sora amiibo? Because that
I
was
would like them to complete like all the characters. It would be really nice. As long as I assume Disney is okay with the little keychain on the end of the Keyblade, which
right.
they have the
Yeah.
right to, and that's technically a whole different ball game because it's a collectible, which is probably owned by Pop, and oof,
That little
that's
keychain is millions of dollars, worth millions of dollars in contracts.
exactly. I assume they'll find a way to put all the characters into figure form. It would be
I
really
really
rude to
hope
get
so.
to the end and say that they can't.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I can get all the amiibo by then and have a really cool looking display.
Yeah, I really hope so. There is one more amiibo, and I don't think you're ever gonna like the process of ever getting this one, and I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about.
I mean, there's two in my mind, but go
Two
ahead.
in- This one you have to travel on an airplane. Okay, well, you have to travel on an airplane, and you have to pay for hotel. You have to pay for hotel prices. You have to pay for admission tickets. You have to pay for all the regular catering and whatnot. It's the freaking Super Nintendo World wristbands.
That is
Those
true.
those amiibo. Like I didn't even know. I didn't realize. Like I didn't even expect them to make them amiibo, but apparently they did. And like
They're
suddenly,
branded with amiibo?
well, no, but they have amiibo functionality though. Like you can use one. Like
I
you can
mean,
take it home and then use it on your game, and then suddenly,
hmm. Then
yeah,
yeah, it is just NFC technology, so it's not that
yeah,
hard. But that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that you could use it on a game. Well, they
yeah.
do have. I think Super Nintendo World is coming in. Was it either this summer or next summer to Hollywood and Florida?
Yeah,
So
sometime in
that'll be
Hollywood
coming
first,
soon.
and then Florida. Even so, you're probably still gonna have to ride a plane, because they're still really
Yeah.
far. And you still have to pay for hotel tickets or hotel and admission tickets. It's gonna be probably more interesting. I would argue more interesting than your trip to New York for the Link Amiibo.
Yeah. I mean, I am somewhat planning a trip to Japan, so if I ever go, I can go to the actual, the Universal in Japan.
Yeah.
The other one that I had in mind was the Box Boy Amiibo. That was released, and I
Oh,
believe it was Japan exclusive. And to
you're
get it
what?
imported, it's like $300.
So it costs $300 to get it imported, but it also costs roughly
Yeah.
the same if you were to fly there and buy it. Well, actually,
Well,
probably more.
nowadays it's about $700 flight to Japan round trip. So
That's excluding all the costs of actually staying there in a
yeah,
hotel.
exactly. I mean, I can come pick it up
Yeah.
and just leave immediately. And maybe before we go, I have two more stories of Amiibo. So the first one would be I went to a local Toys R Us. I believe after my birthday, like me and my grandmother used to
Yeah.
go to a restaurant and then go to Toys R Us afterwards, and she would buy me a birthday present or whatnot.
Yeah.
And we walk in. I think I was about to buy a game. I don't remember what it was. And then
Mhm.
they had. I think this was maybe a year into me collecting Amiibo,
Yeah.
and they had. I don't remember the context, but I think I asked one of the employees if they have Amiibo, and the employee came out with a Yarn Yoshi Amiibo, a Mega Yarn Yoshi Amiibo.
Oh.
And I believe, if I can remember correctly, it was $60 and it included the game, or it was like $80 and included the game. I don't remember, but I believe it included the game. And for some reason, I skipped out on buying one.
Why?
I have no idea what my thought process was in the moment.
Why?
Oh, it has to be my biggest regret in Amiibo collecting. It was
my gosh.
Thing.
It was right there. It was
seriously in my hand. And I think the lady said, "Oh, I found it in the back." And they had their last one. And I think the game came out like 6 months earlier or something.
Oh my gosh. What in the world?
And that's one of the coolest Amiibo ever. That's like a full freaking teddy bear.
Yeah, what the heck?
Oh,
how in the world did you miss that out? Oh, that's so disappointing.
And now you have to pay like $200 for one.
Yeah, you have to pay $200 and
yeah. It has got to be my biggest regret. I hate it.
Yeah.
The second one is when they announced the Super Mario cereal. I was really hoping it would come to Canada. It ended up not coming to Canada, but it was quite available in the US. So I got my cousins in Ohio to buy. I only wanted one box, and then when either they came to me or I came to them, they had, I believe, 5 boxes.
What the heck?
For some reason, they bought 5 boxes worth.
5 boxes. Mario cereal.
So I decided to at least eat one at the time, and it was okay. Like the blueberry flavor was weird to have with milk, and the marshmallows tasted like blueberry, and it was kind of weird. Like I'm used to Lucky Charms, which is just like straight wheat and sugar.
Yeah, Lucky Charms is way better. But
eventually, about like a few months later, I go visit them again, and they have another like bag of them. I think a box of
what the heck? 4?
Yeah. I eventually traded one for a green Inkling Amiibo because that was the one. I didn't get the 3-pack. I only got the girl and boy, and I didn't have the Inkling. But right now, I have, I think, either 5 or 8 boxes of Mario cereal just in my room.
In your room, like unopened?
Just casually.
Casually in your room, unopened, expired?
Very expired. Like 3 years. I feel like I should probably buy like a protection box or something for them.
Yeah, they're not edible at this point. So yeah, probably keep them away.
My thought process is like, oh, do you remember the NES ones that they released? And those are always going around as collectibles as long as they're in good condition. So in 30 years from now, I'll have 5 of the same box of cereal.
Ancient cereal, 5 ancient cereals, and you're gonna make like what, hundreds of bucks off of that?
Yeah. Well, right now I can sell like each box for like $25.
25. Oh, okay. That's
which is 5 times better, 5 times more than retail price.
Stale expired cereal for $25.
Yeah, it's great. Even if I need to like trade for something, everybody would want a box of Mario cereal.
Oh yeah, they want to get their expired nutrients, right?
Thank you for joining us in discussing the future of Amiibo. We'd love it if you could follow us on Twitter and listen to future episodes on Spotify and iTunes. Join our community Discord server to continue today's discussion. And we'll see you next time on the Switch Clicks podcast.
I sure hope Kaiser does not lock me up again.